Welcome, children of light. You're tuned into the Phoenician Star, and my name is Eva. We're going to start by taking a few deep breaths. I'll be quiet during this time and allow you to breathe, supporting your life force. I'll begin talking once the energy is a bit settled, okay? Let's go. I'm picking up on the energy of someone who is, I have to say it like this, who is tired of breathing. And I get it, but at the same time, maybe that is some of our problem. You don't want to take the time to take a full breath. There is the message that is coming down is there needs to be a release. And what you'll need for this release is some quiet time, maybe when you're getting ready to go to bed or early in the morning before everybody wakes up. Or if you're one of those people lucky enough to get a nap during the middle of the day, then maybe that's your time. But you're going to need to get some quiet time, and also you're going to need the willpower to feel, to actually sit with your feelings on all levels: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and even down to your very cells. You're going to have to be willing to feel all the hurt, all the pain, all the guilt, and the anger that's coming up. You're going to have to feel it deep down in its source. Pay attention to your thoughts as you're completing this exercise, and the source, it could come from a thought, a past memory, just a feeling that you really don't know where it came from. It could come from a part of your body, an old injury, or just a place of pain, or even a place that you don't even realize it is hurting until you take the deep breaths and you feel what it is that you're feeling. The source of the pain may move, and in that case, you just follow it. I'm seeing it swarm together like a swarm of bees or locusts, and it's filling you up, and it's just bubbling and kind of gurgling inside of you, and it's angry, not angry. It's sad, it's not sad. It's just everything all in one. All the pain and the hurt and the betrayal of your last relationship, or your relationship with your parents or children. The anguish of having to struggle to survive. Um, just whatever it is, seeing and seeing a lot of things, but I'm seeing it swarm up like locusts, and you need to feel that. You need to feel that swarm, but don't stop breathing. Keep breathing during this. And then when you get ready to release it through your breath out into the ether world, so that your spiritual team can transmute it and send it back to you, kind of like stardust, and it could be used for your greater good. Remember that your main concern here is breathing. You've got to learn how to take deep breaths and enjoy your life force. Be in the present moment. Now, that's going to be hard to do with you focusing on swarming, and that's okay. Allow it to swarm, and then go back to your breath. Because the breath is not only going to allow you to build all this energy up and gather it up so that it can be expelled, but that's what it's going to do. The breathing is going to gather it up and allow it to swarm. And the breathing is also going to expel that energy out into the ether so that you can not only be empty but heal. There's also something coming down about allowing yourself to remove your aura, your energetic field, because it needs to be repaired. It's almost like there is an invisible cloak, and each of us have one. But for my listeners, it's been damaged a bit. You've been through some things and it's time to take it off. You can imagine yourself. There's a lot of imagination in this, so please tap into your imagination. Take off the cloak, take off your auric field, and hand wash it. See yourself in your mind hand washing your aura. Don't put it in the machine, it's not machine washable. Do like they did in the old days and hand wash your energetic field. After you feel like it's clean, hold it up and imagine the sun beaming down on it and the wind passing through it so that it can dry. After that, imagine a tailor or even your higher self, someone who has some spiritual being that has your best interest at heart. Give it to them. They're going to sew it up, they're going to fix it up, they're going to clean it up. And what your job is while they're fixing your auric field, you have to walk around like a human. I don't know how long you're going to have to do this. I know that a lot of you don't want to do this because I'm tapping into the majority of you who feel like the last time that I acted like I wasn't awake, I did some things and I hurt myself. I hurt other people. I made a lot of mistakes. But you are not your past self anymore. You are a new being. You remember what happened. You remember what was done. You remember the mistakes that were made. And you're not going to make the same mistakes. But there is something coming down about taking off your holier than thou cloak and walking around like a human to see how it feels. Even if you're not a Christian, take the story as it is. God supposedly stepped down from earth. Stepped down from heaven and walked the earth as a man, as Jesus. And this is kind of like what you're going to be doing. You're going to have to take off your holy cloak and you're going to have to walk the earth as a human for a time until your aura is cleansed and mended. I don't know how long this is going to be, but once you learn whatever it is that you're supposed to learn while you're walking around as a human, and once your cloak is repaired, your spiritual tailor or your higher self will just gently lay it back over you. And you'll be different and have evolved once again. I'm also picking up on some people who are kind of tired of evolving. I don't know what to tell you about that. That's just the way it is. Okay. Now, I think those were all of the messages that just came down on their own. I'm going to grab a deck and just see what comes out. Give me just a second. It's really coming out. Excuse me, hold on. Let me get something to drink. Hold on. It's really coming out of you owning your own time, because what happens in life is we don't realize it, but like we're so used to rushing and having so many things to do or thinking about so many things or whatever it is that us humans do, that we don't take the time to breathe. And how you can begin to own your own time, make your own schedule, is to make time to breathe. You don't have to stop working to breathe, but you need to do it consciously. Now, two cards came out, the Page of Cups, and that kind of jumped out, and then the Ace of Cups. two things are coming out. Excuse me. If you're new to my channel, I do have like some issues with my throat, so I cough and clear my throat quite often. Um, but the thing that is coming out is it's two different messages, and one is you are not the person that you used to be, which is what I just said a moment ago. And then two, something wants you to be naive for a little while. There's like, pretend that you don't know that you see it. Don't lose the fact that you are fully aware of what's going on around you and the energies and the people around you. But you need to play dumb to a certain extent. Don't be dumb. Don't do the things that you once did before you awakened into a more knowing self. Don't be stupid. But just act like you are for a little while. Someone else is okay. Okay, again, two messages. One is that you are gonna watch in this naive era that you're pretending, keyword pretending, to be in. You're gonna watch someone else fall. You are going to get on their level and see how they operate. There is something about knowing, they always say know thyself, but there's also an importance to knowing thy enemy. And you're going to have to know your enemy in this next, phase of your life. That's why you're playing naive. You need to know exactly how they operate, how they move. You need to move the way they do. Don't become them, but learn your enemy. During this time, your ambitions will change and grow. You will hone down on what your life purpose is. I'm seeing somebody mentor to the younger generation. I'm seeing somebody get down on their level and be able to relate to them and show them a way out because you've been there before. But you haven't grown up the way that they have. So you being naive and being on their level is going to cause you to be able to talk to them the way they need you to talk to them. Now, that isn't for everybody, but it's a general idea of what it is that you're doing in this naive era. Um, I am seeing somebody kind of also mentor to people in prison. And I'm also tapping into somebody who's like, I want to get them before they get in prison. Good for you. Good for you. I hope you get it. Okay. I hope you do what it is that you're looking for. Now, please remember that these readings are general in nature. That all of it is not for one person in particular. And if it's not for you, if you feel like it's not for you, or if you're kind of struggling with it and forcing it to fit in your life, then it's not yours, and just leave it alone and leave it there. My readings come out in fragments because I'm picking up on different people. And so I'm reading something about this person, something about that person. All of it's not for you. Just take it how it resonates and leave the rest alone. Man, yeah, okay. While your auric field, while your aura is being cleansed and mended, you are still being looked out for spiritually. You are still not alone, but you need to humble down a bit. You need to become human. A saying that comes from the emerald tablets is a man is a star bound to a body, and that's what you walk around like. People know that you are not fully human when they see you. They know that it's something about you that is like kind of not on their level. I'm trying to put it the way the message I'm it's very hard sometimes to communicate what is being said in the spiritual realm to translate it into human language. So sometimes I have to pause. So just, bear with me. Give me just a second. There's something about you celebrating with those who usually you wouldn't celebrate with. Like, even if you're not a Christian, just please accept the story as it is. The story goes that Jesus didn't go to the people who were already healed. He didn't hang out with them. He hung out with the sinners. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form telling you to go into dark alleys with people. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying, all I'm saying is that there is a humbling that needs to happen, and there's something about you being totally human and forgetting, not entirely forgetting, okay, but pretending to forget that you are a star. But that does not mean that you don't have help. That if something happens and you need your spiritual protection, you need your spiritual gifts, you need this, and that, all these things that you were given as a blessing of being a star, you will still have it. It will still come when you need it. But you really need to live as a human for a little while. Man, some of you really don't want to do that. There's a version of yourself that you're going to meet in this new naive era. I hate to keep using that word, but I don't know what else to say. I don't know what word would fill it. So you're going to have to take it as it is and understand that I'm not meaning don't go out and be stupid, okay? But there's a version of yourself that you're going to meet, and for some of you, there's a person that you're going to meet that is going to be on your level who is also pretending to be human, but they are actually a star. I'm getting the sense that there is a divine meeting that's going to take place. And like I said, for some of you, it's going to be a version of yourself, and for others of you, it's going to be a person. But this is a meeting that was always meant to happen. And the fact that you can humble down and take off your holier than thou cloak is what's going to help this come into being. This you can look at it kind of like a rebirth, like you're being born all over again, and you get to decide. I'm going to relay an information that came from someone. I found her on YouTube, and I haven't evaluated her properly. For one, that isn't my job, but I just haven't had time to listen to all of her videos or most of her videos. But she seems to be a real peach, and I mean that in a really good way, because I love peaches. Um, but her name is Coach Val J, and the one video that I had happened upon was like her giving an affirmation that said, "I get to decide," and it's just repeating that to yourself and understanding that you get to decide how you experience life. You get to decide who you sleep with. You get to decide who touches your body. You get to decide what clothes you wear. You get to decide what career you want to go after, what your next goal is. I get to decide. We often look at life like it's a burden. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to go to work. I have to cook. I have to fold clothes. I hate folding clothes. Um, but but maybe if we can shift that energy and say, I get to decide. I get to do this. Because one day, I've also studied the work of death coolers, and I can't remember the lady's name, but she's absolutely beautiful with her beautiful dark skin. I can't remember what her name is, but she's an author and um, um, a well-known death doula, and she spoke on one day. We all would look at going to the grocery store like a chore, but we don't realize that it is a blessing. I get to go to the grocery store today. I get to, drive to, see my parents. That's a blessing to be able to do that because one day we won't be able to. I don't know where I was going with that, but something told me to share it, so I had to. Let's move on. Yeah. This is a rebirth that's going on. It's like you're a born again human. I really get the essence of like how God and Jesus work. I'm not saying going around tell everybody, oh, I'm Jesus reincarnated. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Um, and there have been people to do it. That's why I stress the fact. Please don't do that. I'm not saying that you're Jesus reincarnated. I'm really not. All I'm saying is that the story fits that a high level spiritual being took off his holy cloak and stepped down on earth to become human, to see what it was like, and to move the way that humans do so that they could fulfill a bigger purpose. And that's what's going on here. That is what you're doing. You are taking off your holy cloak, for one, so that it can be mended, but for two, so that you can live amongst the humans as they do so that you can fulfill a higher purpose. You're going to be happy that you did this. And there are going to be some good times that come up to you. You're going to actually have fun this time being a human. But it's going to be safe fun. It's going to be, you're not going to go out there and be dumb and your version of fun is, you know, um, robbing a bank. You know, um, even though the money portion of it sounds fun, the getting caught, going to jail, or getting shot, that's not fun. So that's not what I'm talking about. I mean that you're really gonna laugh. You're gonna enjoy the small things. You're gonna enjoy the people that you have around you. You're gonna cherish your relationships. You're gonna listen to the birds. You're gonna actually have fun. You're gonna go places. I'm seeing a lot of people, travel. And even to those of you who, I'm sorry, I'm still drinking, something warm for my throat. And for those of you who aren't traveling, I still see you having fun just right where you are. There are a lot of things that you can do fun that's right at home. And you're going to get the, it might not sound like it, and you may be like, I want to travel. I don't want to stay here. Just be patient. Be patient, and it'll come to you what you can do, and the fun will find you. While you are being human, continue to do that releasing exercise that I was talking about at the beginning of the reading, like imagining like a swarm of your pain, a swarm of your hurt, and releasing it out into the ether. Continue to do that because you still have help in the spiritual realm. There are still spiritual beings that are there with you, supporting you, and ancestors as well, like angels, other worldly beings that come from other stars but didn't, come to Earth. They are still there supporting you. Um, if I didn't say ancestors, I meant to. These people are going to take that energy that you are releasing and they're going to transmute it into something good and beautiful and fun and helpful, and they're going to send it to you. And I'm seeing it, excuse me, I'm seeing it fall on you like stardust, like sparklies, something like that. This is going to be a major accomplishment if you can get through this human phase, this new human phase of yours. I'm also getting the sense of God. And what he seems to be saying, and Father, forgive me if I'm wrong in my interpretation, but what I'm picking up on is him telling you that he wants you to enjoy being a human. That's why he gave you life. That's why he sent you here. You have a job to do, yes, but he also wants you to enjoy being alive. Life is a gift. It's not all about push, push, push. I gotta, fulfill this soul contract. I gotta fulfill my purpose. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Um, I gotta hold everybody up. I have to. Yes, it is about that, but it's also about enjoying your life, and that's what he wants. That is another aspect of you being reborn in flesh, if I can put it like that. He wants you to have fun. He wants you to enjoy being alive. And sometimes you can't have fun if you know everything. Like, for those of you who have spiritual gifts, for those of you who are awakened, for those of you who see, it's very hard for you to have fun because you know what's going to happen next. You can't enjoy other people around you because you know that they're going to hurt you. You've already seen it play out. You know what's going to happen. So it's very hard for you to have fun when you already know how it's going to end. And so that also encompasses you pretending that you're not a star being, pretending that you're not who you are. Don't forget, because you don't want to make the same mistake again. Don't forget, but just pretend that you don't know so that you can enjoy life and the people who are in it. That's going to be really hard because this is just going to be really hard. I see I'm picking up on what you guys are saying, and the people who are around you who done pissed you off, who don't deserve you. Um, some of them don't deserve you. So I'm not saying go back to people who have abused you. That's not what I'm saying. But there are people who you can stomach a little bit longer. And you're being asked to stomach them just a little bit longer, okay? Mm, mm. How can I say this? Nobody likes to hear it. I can't and will not change the message, but I want to put it in a way that doesn't hurt. Um, there are things in life that are certain, and the life death cycle is certain. People and things, trees, birds, plants, people, if I didn't already say people, they're going to live and they're going to transition. And we need to enjoy each other while we have each other, because we never know when that time is going to come for us to transition. I'm not saying anything about anything I don't see. I'm asking not to see it. I don't want to know. All I'm saying is that we have to enjoy our lives, ourselves, and the people who we love most. Forgiveness is not always about the other person. I know you've heard that before. It is also for you. You don't want someone to leave this world and you say, man, if I would have just called and told them I love them one more time. I'm going to leave that there. Um, some of you are going to feel like you have to fight your spiritual self to be quiet so that you can enjoy your life. And it's not going to be like that. You're not going to have to fight yourself to be quiet and to not see. You are just going to open up to receive life as it is. You are who you are. You have the gifts that you have. You see what you see. And I'm not telling you to bury who you are. I'm not telling you to ignore your intuition. I'm only asking that you open up to enjoy life. And if you don't know how to do that, if what I've said or what I've communicated isn't helpful to you, then ask your spiritual team for help. Maybe they can put it in a way that I can't. But it is very important not to torture and fight yourself over this. Don't tell your inner voice, your inner intuition, don't tell your spiritual self to shut up. It doesn't need to shut up. It doesn't need to be quiet. You've morphed into a more aware spiritual being for a reason. You need to be able to see. Don't fight it. Just open up. Open up to being human. Open up to the humanness in yourself so that you can open up to the humanness of other people and appreciate them while you have them. Or while they have you. I don't know. I'm not saying anything about anything. I don't see anybody passing away. I'm just saying what's coming out. I don't want to know. Don't ask me. Don't worry about who's leaving, who's not. Ooh, that sounds good. Okay. You need to watch your spending habits though. There's a leak. And this is part of two things. Part of the reason that you need to remove your aura and allow it to be mended is because there's a leak. That's why it's so hard for you to manifest the things that you need to manifest. That's why it's so hard for you to be the person that you need to be and put your feet firmly on the ground and walk in your purpose, your passion, your place because of that leak within your auric field. And that's why you have to take it out. Well, that's one of the reasons. There are quite a few reasons that you need to take this oral field off and allow it to be mended. But one of the reasons is because there are holes in it. There are leaks. Um, there's a gospel song by LaShawn Pierce saying there's a leak in this old building and my soul has got to move. Um, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. But it's not saying that anybody's going to transition, but there's a leak. There's a leak, and there are energies that have gotten inside your aura, and you don't know how to get it out. That's why it's being passed on to your higher self or the spiritual tailor to sew it up. Um, and then there are parts of you that's getting out. There's a ciphering of your energy that's going on from a spirit that's in somebody else that's around you, or just even strangers that you meet. They can very easily cipher your energy out of your auric field and put it into themselves. That's why sometimes they succeed at something that you were trying to do because you messed around and passed by them and they just suck it up through a straw. They may not even know they did it. Some people are not aware of who they are spiritually. They're not even aware that they're energy vampires. That's why you have to do shadow work and really look at yourself. Are the people around you falling when you come around? Are they doing bad just because you are around? Where they're doing okay and then all of a sudden, their life is in shambles because you're there, you might be an energy vampire, And I'm not trying to make you feel bad or nothing, just fix it up, take off your aura field, allow your spiritual team to clean it up for you and get that stuff fixed. You don't have to be an energy vampire if you don't want to be. You can always change. You just have to want to. But some people do like just sucking the life out of other people. I hope that that isn't you, listener. Hopefully that's not you. But if it is, then if you want to change, you can. Yep, yep. It's just coming out again that there's a leak, that there's a leak in your auric field, and that is one of the main reasons why you have to take it off. It's got to be repaired because When you finish learning what you need to learn about being human, when you get ready to put this cloak back on, it's going to have to be whole, it's going to have to be solid, it's going to have to be unbreakable. I'm hearing, and I've been hearing it for weeks now, that Alicia Keys' song is kind of old. It's called Unbreakable. I want to pull one last message. It's anything else. There are some things, and I want to make sure that I didn't brush over. There are going to be some things that you see in this naive state that you're about to be in that you're not going to like. You're going to see things about people that you didn't think that you'd ever see. You're going to see things about yourself that you didn't think, were there. Everything is not, while you're going to have fun and all this other good stuff, it's also going to be some things that you don't like. But you don't need to, there's nothing that you can't heal from. So whatever it is that happens, whatever it is that you don't like, whatever it is that you see, understand that because you are in essence a light being, you will be able to shift and transmute and heal and escape the way that you need to. I see somebody, this could be spirit. I see somebody going, it's almost like a great voyage that you're going on. You're about to take a trip. And this could be a trip physically, you may be about to go somewhere, or this could just be a spiritual journey or a human journey that you're about to go on. But it's like you're at the dock and you're just waiting for the ship to come up so that you can board. Um, yeah, I'm seeing somebody being very childlike again. hmm I'm seeing somebody like this is a rebirth that's going on. You're a born again human, but you are not stupid. Okay, you don't you still have your wisdom. You still have retained all the knowledge that you have accumulated up until this point. You're good. You use it wisely. Don't overthink. You know what it is that you're supposed to do. You have bitten from the fruit and you know right from wrong. You have the knowledge of good and evil, but you can just go back and kind of do things differently. Well, not go back. You can go forward and do things differently. You can live again, but have a better quality of life. That's how I want to say it. Okay. All right. I'm done. I thank you guys for tuning in, and I want you to follow your own star.